Tuesday, June 11th, and the Dome Foamers podcast is back. And I'm your host, Christian Kruger, joined as always by Brian Dorton. And we're just lifelong Astros fans and love to talk about the Astros. So, boys, let's go. All right, episode 52. We've got our Irishman here with us. Our third dome foamer is traveling with the family, off frolicking on somewhere in Eastern time zone. So good for him. Have fun, Neil.
Yeah.
We'll see you
Betting
next week.
Betting on them ponies, drinking the whiskey.
Yeah, that's the rumor. That's the rumor.
Fine.
So, let's first cover some things we need to cover, and then we'll get into the lovely, glorious situation of the Astros that we can talk about. So, we want to thank our sponsors, Two Gringos Chupacabra, for always sponsoring us with their season on rubs are the best in the business. It is 2gringoschupacabra.com. You can put Dome 15 on there to get a discount. We recommend them. A lot of other people do as well. That is the number 2 Chupacabras. The number 2 gringochupacabras.com. And you can also go to your local grocery stores and get them as well. So thanks to Two Gringos for that.
Good Father's Day gift.
Oh, great plug there, Dorton. And I'm so glad that you lead with that, because there's a little bit of happiness being that we're both dads, because now we get to dive in to what I believe I texted last night after the game, saying just burn the whole thing down, because it was the 2 worst losses back to back this year so far, and that says a lot. But let's recap. So we were 4-2 for the week last week, which I said 4-2 is not going to be good enough, and it's not. We'll explain that here in a little bit. You predicted 5-1. I predicted 3-3. I think Mieski, did he go 5-1, 4-2? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. He's not here to defend himself. So 4-2. Horrible loss Sunday that could have easily been 5-1 when you're up 7-4 late in the game.
Yep.
And then we tap it all off heading to San Francisco and have another disaster last night. We are 7.5 games back. So basically right where we started last week, which has always been the issue that I've had. And we are 30-37, 7 games under 500. We already had a text about this before the podcast. There's only so many times we can say we suck. This team finds a way to lose every single time they're gaining a little bit of momentum. So let me just throw it to you, because I could go on for a while here. Dorton, temperature check to you, bud.
Temperature check is morale is low. I'll leave it there. I mean, after these past 2 games, just gut punchers. I mean, I think the profanity I used last night after after that walk off was enough said, and it was. I don't even know what to do anymore. I don't even know what to say. I mean, like, the stats that I've been seeing are, I mean, absolutely abysmal in terms of what if we're scoring more than 3 runs, we're actually winning games. But if like 3 or less, we're something like 3-27 or something like that.
It's bad.
That is absolutely abysmal. And for like people like Aaron Getty got out there yesterday and threw a hell of a game. I mean, like, what do you do with that? Everybody did their part.
Yep. In the beginning.
We scored a run. And then we did what we thought should be enough to close them down in the 10th. And, come out and score 2 more runs in the 10th last night, and just to get Rafael Montero. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say about him anymore. I'm done with him. I couldn't be. I've been done with Presley, but after Sunday, Presley can get shot into the moon for all I care. That I mean, what Scott is probably our only somewhat consistent reliever that we have right now. The South African savior, and
You're not
I
wrong.
don't.
You're not wrong.
He's the only piece of consistency we have in this entire bullpen.
I love arguing
And
with you. I love arguing with you, but you're not wrong.
yeah, Verlander. I'm not sad if Verlander if we decide to trade Verlander. He's giving us nothing.
Nothing.
I mean,
Not what he was brought here to do. Not what he was brought here to do.
And lastly, all Framber's doing right now is just reiterating the bipolarness that is Framber, which is you don't know who you're going to get. You might get somebody who goes 9 innings and throws just a hell of a game. And then you might get somebody who just goes completely rogue, and who knows what they're going to do. So I don't know. This team hitting, I mean, Tucker's supposed to be back, what, Friday-ish?
They said they were going to try to get back to San Francisco, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yainer is he got pinged in the finger. Bregman couldn't hit into more double plays if he tried. That first baseman is still playing first base and still hitting in. How about this? We don't need to go to, we don't need to go. We don't need to go into the 10th inning, period, if anybody else in our lineup hits when Abreu hit yesterday. Runners on second and third.
Oh, that's on the list, buddy. That's on the list for me to talk about.
It is insane when you have people on the bench who can produce, and I don't even know. I mean, I was even listening to TK and Blummer. They were even kind of in their way, without trying to smash anybody, were like, I guess we're still trying to see which Jose Abreu this is. If this is going to be that's kind of their talk like, what are we doing? Why are we wheeling this guy out here to strike out or hit into double plays or go absolutely on fire and get 2 hits? One of them is a double, one's a home run. I mean, a double and a home run for him that's the most fire that he's been in recent memory. Pass. Go away. Moonshot. So anyway, as you can tell, like, things aren't super stoked right now for me with this. And I'm usually the optimistic one.
So. You are. You usually are. Neil's in the middle, trying to keep everything kosher, and I'm the one that wants to burn it down. And you sent your laced text last night, and my response was in capital letters: "Burn it all down." Yeah. So the way I'm going to describe it, without going on to a massive rant here, is we snatch loss from the jaws of victory. Better than any team I've seen in a while. And there's everything you said was spot on. We get these hit in the wrist, which that's another. Altuve hits a home run. Bregman gets hit in the wrist. Why are we not showing some emotion and fire? I'm sick of us getting pitched inside. I think pitching inside is part of baseball. You know that. We've talked about it. But sometimes someone needs to be pissed off and retaliate. Show something. Show some fire. A Bregman comes out of the game, and it's clear to me now, Dubon cannot play third base with 2 errors yesterday. That was not pretty. I don't know where
Yeah,
he can
that
play
was
everywhere. He can play everywhere else.
what
He
happened.
also
I don't know what was going
I
on
don't
there.
I don't know. He dropped the fly ball in left field. I don't know what's going on with him, but look, he's the least of our worries.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you know what? If our problems were like, is Dubon gonna get back into
well, and
Gold
I'm
Glove
not.
form? Sure, that's a great
Yeah,
problem
but
to
I'm not.
have.
I'm not taking on him. What I'm saying is, it's like every little thing that happens, there's a negative reaction, cause and effect to that. It's every time. It's like there's no room for error. Um, where to even begin? So let's talk. Let's talk about news before I get into my rant. Not surprised, from the podcast, and I'm sure most of the listeners, know this by now, but we need to go over it. Javier out for the year, Tommy John. Urquidy out
Yep.
for the year, Tommy John. Tucker's been now on the IL, which I thought he was hit on the shin and it would be a day to day. By the way, they said Javier was day to day too, and he has Tommy John. So that goes back to what we think about Astros management, anything that comes out of that place. We bring up Low Profudo. He doesn't even play. We'll get into that later.
Hmm. Well, we
Um,
did bring it. We did bring up Liverpool.
yeah, he's already back down.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, this team does not move runners over consistently. Yannir's struggling to do that. We obviously know about the first baseman. I mean, we're 7.5 games back. Is that time to just move to the sell mode? No, but this is exactly why I've said for weeks I don't see this team being able to put a consistent winning streak together to make the move. I just don't see it. From starting pitching, which you brought it up, so I will hat tip Aaron Getty. He looked like a major league pitcher yesterday, and a good one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And he makes one cement mixer, gives up a run. Other than that, I mean, if we're asking him to give a run or two a game as your fifth starter, that's I don't know what else you can ask for.
Yeah.
And we still don't win. We still don't find a way to win. And why Presley's still pitching, I don't know.
No idea.
Montero, I don't know. I will give credit to the Breathing Orange Fire podcast. The guys that we teamed up with. I heard them talking about with Urquidy going, Tommy John. Is this the last we see of him? Because he is ARB3 next year, and that's why I'm giving credit to these guys because I didn't think about this. So Gabe and Andrew over there, they brought this up. I do a text chain with them every once in a while, just talking about how bad the Astros suck right now, and he will get a raise based on being ARB3, no matter if he pitches anymore or not. And that tells me you send him into the sun because I think he's pitched his last games ever in an Astros uniform.
That's fair.
He's making 3 point something and change, and so he'll get a raise next year, probably in the high fours. Nope, you got to send him packing. I think you need to start really having some serious conversations about upgrading the farm and moving forward for next year in 2026. I really do. I know it's June 11th, as we talked about. And yes, there's still plenty of baseball, but we just don't have the horses.
No.
And
You
not
know,
playing and not playing the ball consistently to make a move.
I would argue with you normally and say like, well, like we can win a couple in San Francisco and we have an opportunity to actually jump ahead with the Tigers and the White Sox coming up. I don't even think we can. I don't think we have what it takes to sweep a series right now. Like even
We
against
we
the White
we
Sox.
we had it against the Angels. We had it. We had the sweep, and we
Well,
blew it.
well, we sure did. I said it
And
was funny. I saw a good tweet that was it was two people putting together. It was the Astros season in a nutshell. It was two people putting together just a giant puzzle. One person puts the second to last piece in, and right when she's about to put the last one, he just slams it against the wall. And that's it.
it is,
That's the season. And
yeah.
and and that is our closing staff. That is our hitting with runners in scoring position. It's all of it. It's all of it coming together. Like when our closing staff is actually on point, we can't hit the ball at all. When we can hit the ball, our closers just absolutely just destroy us. And when we hit the ball and our closers are on fire, whoever's starting for us just gets into a slot machine out there.
Yeah,
So
and that's
whatever.
why you're 7 games below 500.
Yeah, I mean that's it. And I don't know who to place the blame on.
Well, that's where I want to go next.
I don't know. I honestly I'm
I
stumped here.
well, we say that and you say that, and I agree with you because we don't know who's truly making the moves and the
Correct.
decisions. And I think we do, and I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
um,
there's a logical reason. There's a logical reason why Espada continues to put that first baseman out there and batting him anywhere other than, I mean, I would have rather seen Spencer Arangetti bat and DH for Abreu yesterday. I would have rather seen that. I bet you Arangetti was probably a decent hitter in college or high school.
well,
He's an athletic dude.
let's get to that because we could go through the players all day long, but this is what is bothering me more. And obviously, with our text chain with our other dome foamer, this is my issue. Is I don't see a direction of any competence going on right now. You brought up that one. I agree. First off, we all know he shouldn't be here in the first place. But so you have 2 outs, runners on second and third yesterday in the ninth inning, and it's he comes up to bat.
Why?
Why?
Why? Why?
Because, yeah, why? I mean, so
And don't give me
you,
right versus
and
left.
then,
Don't give me righty versus lefty. Don't give me any of that.
no, it
Why?
doesn't matter.
It
Well,
doesn't matter. He's terrible against anybody.
yeah, wasn't it a righty at the time?
Yeah,
But
it was.
yeah,
But it
exactly.
doesn't
So,
matter. It doesn't
no,
matter.
it doesn't. It doesn't. They have mismanaged that whole situation so bad. They mismanaged Joey Bats so bad. He just said he did not get one start. Did he even get in at bat?
Nope. He ran. I mean, he scored a run. They put him on second yesterday.
Yeah, because in the next inning you let Abreu bat, but then Hader shuts him down in the bottom of the ninth. You're not going to put Abreu at second base. So what do? They pinch run Luperfido. Like, what are you doing?
No idea. No idea.
It just and what bothers me even more is Sunday after the loss to the Angels, who was clearly blown by Stressley.
Mm-hmm.
What does Espada say? What does Espada say after the game?
I didn't.
We're going to keep running.
Did not watch it.
We're going to keep running him out there. We trust that guy. What?
Why? Why? Why do you trust him?
Dorton has brought this up on our text chain. If he hits 50 innings, he has a clause it invests him for 15 million next year. Don't even sniff that.
Yes. Go bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
It's time. Thank him for his service. He had a great 2022 World Series. He'll always be remembered for that. It's just time. He's 37 years old. He's 36, 37 years old. It's time.
I'd rather have, I don't know what Frenchie's injury status is, but I'd rather have Frenchie up there than him in the bullpen. Tell me I'm wrong there. You're not getting any worse.
But these are the decisions the front office is making that make zero sense.
None.
And it's frustrating.
I'll give you one positive. Here's one positive. Your daddy is stroking the ball.
He's not the only one. That is a positive.
He is hitting the ball hard. Doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Yeah.
But he is hitting the ball hard.
I want to highlight this too.
Even his outs. I mean, he was hitting the ball 112, 113 exit velo to left field.
Midweek,
right field.
Midweek last week, Altuve had his 600th multi-hit game.
Yeah.
I want you to think about that for a second.
600.
600. And I think he's had 3 or 4 since then.
Yeah.
Like, he's unbelievable. Those are the positives. Those 2 guys are signed long term. The rest, you got to
Whatever.
restock the farm at some point. What else
I
you
think,
want to touch on?
I mean, I think at this point, the people, well, here's another one that we have not touched on yet. Your boy Pena, he's hitting the ball and he's hitting it consistently still.
Yeah, he is, and I should probably give him more credit. However, he made me mad yesterday by whiffing, making an error in whiffing on a ball. I mean, it's just
Yeah, yeah.
that's the thing. He's been hitting the ball. He's not great with runners in scoring position. I think he's now 1 for 9, and I think with the bases loaded. So that's my biggest issue with him. He is hitting the ball, but it's like an error in a big spot, and that's not just on him. It is like
Yeah, yeah.
finding ways to lose.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's uncanny.
And
Um,
and before the injury, I will say this: Yiner's starting to find a bat. He's he's had a heck of a 2 weeks. He's hitting the ball hard, hitting some home runs. I think he had 6, 7 hits this week. 6 hits.
yeah, 4 games in a row, the home run she needed.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. I don't know how we're not winning. Well, I know how we're not winning, but like this is the thing that I here's my frustration. My frustration is we are getting like people are starting to get hot, right? Like we're starting to see Jordan hit like Jordan. We're starting Altuve is doing his thing. Yiner's starting to get hot. Pena is playing well. This is all offensively. Pena is playing well. Bregman is whatever. Bregman is Bregman. Guys are coming in. Carantini's coming in and getting base hits. We're seeing offense. We're just not scoring runs for whatever
Well,
reason
it's
every
timely
game.
hitting. It's timely
Yeah,
hitting.
we're not scoring runs at every game, and it's like our offense. I always kind of fell back on our pitching can suck because our offense is that good or can be that good. And I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. I'm seeing them stroke the ball. I'm seeing them hit the ball, but I'm not seeing any runs out of it. Or I'm not seeing enough runs out of it.
Well, I don't know the game. I don't remember what game it was, but we got a hard base hit by Altuve. And then I believe Bregman either got a hit or got walked. So it was runners on first and second, no outs. Jordan strikes out. And look, it just one at bat, right? But Jordan strikes out. Pena hits a pop up, and then Yanier grounds out. I'm just like,
yep.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Yeah. There you go. Done and done.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I mean, yeah, whatever. And if I see another ground ball, if I see another grounded into a double play by Breggy, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Done.
So we lost last night to the Giants for the week. We've got the Giants tonight, here in a little bit. We've got then tomorrow off Thursday and
afternoon game tomorrow.
And then off Thursday. And then is it the White Sox?
Nope. Then Detroit at home. 3-game Detroit at home. And then we have Monday off and then 3-game White Sox.
Which, by the way, one of those Detroit starts is going to be the best left-hander pitching in baseball, Tarik Skubal, who has the lowest batting average against in all of baseball. I looked, he pitched last series, so he will not pitch for whoever they're playing these 3 games, and he'll be ready and set for us.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
What do you anything you want to touch on before we kind of move to the dome phoners and then do the prediction of the schedule?
I do want to say this, and I'm looking for his name. What's that kid's name? He was the reliever. He's the A's. I mean, the Angels reliever from. Remember, he was from Tennessee from a couple of years ago, where he was just smoking.
Ben Joyce.
Joyce. Did you watch him? Did you watch that? Mm-hmm. Did you watch the end of that game? So I mean, he was putting he was throwing the ball 102, 103,
Yeah.
100, like it was gas. I mean, we were hitting, we can
Yeah.
hit some fastballs. Like that's the, that's the thing that was one of those moments where I love watching that, where, you know, probably any other team is seeing 102-mile-an-hour fastball, 103-mile-an-hour fastball, and they're not even coming close to it. They're Jose Abreuing it into to the right field dugout, you know, but like these guys were just stroking it and turning on it. And I loved it was a cool thing to see, and because I wasn't a big fan of his anyway at Tennessee. So
Yeah.
I love watching him get just blown up. And then we blow it, right? And
Yeah.
then Stressley comes in and night. Yeah, that's all I have to say. That's it. It's cool to watch us hit when we're actually hitting, and it sucks to watch us absolutely blow up.
Well, it's interesting, and I want to move on to something here in a minute that I want to just kind of bring up. But it's interesting that at 1 week later, and I get it because I said I opened the podcast with the worst two losses back to back of the year, but it has totally soured you in 1 week. Like I get it.
I'm down. I am down bad. Like
Yeah.
as a fan, I don't know, like
Well,
that's tough to watch.
you brought up college baseball, so I will say congrats to your Ags making Omaha.
Hey,
So
man.
that'll be something at least exciting for you guys.
You want to
Um,
talk about a tough inning for I will say I'll my heart goes out to the Oregon fans that had to watch that
well, yeah,
seventh inning.
because their
Ooh.
coach should be fired in the dugout.
Well, they didn't have any more pitching. They didn't have
That's
anybody to
in
put in. They
game
didn't have
two. You don't have anyone else.
no, they were out. We were on our sixth pitcher that game. Like that game, go back and
Then
watch that. That game was
I watched it.
bananas. That game was
Well,
bananas.
you can't walk seven people and hit a
Well, yeah,
batter in
and
those.
hit a
I mean
batter
that.
and then give up a hey Jeff Kent
Yep,
lineage
that's
grand
great.
slam. That's right,
But I
baby.
mean that put in a position player. My
Yeah,
God,
I mean,
that was
get him out of there.
embarrassing.
That was tough to watch. That was awesome to watch, but
Right.
I could only imagine being an Oregon fan. Anyway, all right.
So that'll be fun. The College World Series, for those who've never been, you need to go. It's an incredible event. It's
I've still
fun.
never been. I
It's
gotta go.
one of the best sporting events I've ever been to. Um, so I'm going to plug another podcast that's not Astros related, and there's a reason why. I've got I know some people that obviously listen to this. I'm sure Dorton knows some people that coach youth sports, coach youth baseball, and you know I've done it off and on for a long time. We are in our mid 40s. I would consider us definitely old school, especially some of the coaches that we had growing up. But I feel like you can always learn. So if someone's listening to this and needs a podcast to get perspective, um, there is a gentleman by the name. His nickname is Coach Ballgame. His real name is James Lowe. His stuff is amazing, and I've just recently, last couple of months, have been following him on social media. I mean, it's eye opening, and as most know me and that know Brian, we're also big. We love the game of golf, and we love to play it. We got to play it last week with our rest of our V-Town buddies. So shout out to those guys at Gilly Manor.
Is
But
that what we called that? Playing golf?
yeah,
We did.
yeah.
We did have golf clubs.
But I am going to bring up something that's not great to talk about, and I'm just going to throw it to that podcast because everyone needs to listen to it. Frankly, if you're coaching in any capacity or have a kid playing sports, male or female. Grayson Murray passed away, the PGA Tour player, a couple weeks ago at the Colonial. Took his own life due to mental health and so forth. And mental health is a topic a lot of people don't like to talk about. A lot of people don't understand. I, for one, have been one of those for a long time that didn't really understand it. And I'm just going to give a shout out to it's Coach Ballgame and Talking Shop. and it's episode 90. And I listened to it. It's worth an hour. It talks about mental health and the mental health stigma, and it is absolutely eye opening. He does a great job. He brings a lot of positivity, which, hey, frankly, the Astros need some positivity right now.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you have a kid playing sports or you're coaching kids and playing sports, again, I think most of his stuff's on Apple Podcast, and it's just search Coach Ballgame, and it's called Talking Shop or Talking Chop because the other gentleman he has on there is Coach Chop, and it's episode 90, the mental health stigma, and it's phenomenal. It is
Okay.
absolutely phenomenal to listen to. It's worth your hour. I've already sent at least 10 people to it that coach, and I've gotten crazy feedback on it saying this is unreal. His stuff is awesome. He is hired by Major League Baseball to grow the game in the youth capacity, which is awesome. We know that baseball can be slow at times. It's been slow at times for my kids, but at the same time, it's really more about fun and it gets competitive later. I wanted to plug that for anyone out there listening. It's a phenomenal listen, and that's all I wanted to say on that. Anything you want to touch on? Because I know
Nice, man.
you're
No, listen, I haven't listened to that, but I definitely will. And I'm all about the like breaking that stigma of mental health. And like, listen, I don't think I know anybody in my little realm and circle who's not currently going to therapy or seeing somebody. I mean, like, I think the idea of being like, hey, you know what? I need to talk. I need somebody to talk to, and I need, help on whatever I can get help with. And there is no stigma around it. And I love the idea that teaching kids at a young age that like it's okay, boys,
yeah,
especially boys, because a lot of times, boys are kind of you keep it in. You're a man. You keep it in.
right.
And teaching boys it is okay to talk about your feelings, and it's okay to not be okay about things, and to figure it to to go about like struggling to figure it out, and like having somebody there to help. I think that's amazing. I think that's awesome. Um I mean, don't get me wrong, girls as well. It is
Sure.
incredibly important with girls, but I know that there there's a lot of research that out there that's talks about how you know suicide rates around among boys are so much higher just because of this whole stigma of like I'm going to be a man and talk about it. But
Right.
you have to have that up for everybody.
Yeah, and I've actually reached out to his team. I'm trying to get him here to New Braunfels to do a coaching clinic slash he does these workshops. So I mean, I'm telling you, his stuff is awesome. It's super positive. It's great. It's great for the coaching side. But that episode really struck me as something that I need to work on and understand better. And so I want to pass it along. And if this podcast reaches anybody that can help them with, I'm all for it.
Very
We've
awesome.
always been, yeah, we've always been one to share and help, help anyone that's out there listening, especially considering how bad the Astros are playing right now. I thought it was a great time to reach out for some positivity. And that guy
Love it.
he's unbelievable what he does.
Love it.
So let's wrap this bad boy up.
All right.
Talk about the week. Do you have a dome phone player of the week that you want to do?
I mean, my goodness, I would. All right, I'm just going to focus on hitting, and I mean, I'll stay with Yiner. I mean, he's actually coming out of it, and he hit he hit 353 this past week. Had starting to hit some dingers, hitting the ball hard. Um, threw threw a couple of guys out. So I mean, like Yiner's doing his part. I'm going to say one more thing on Yiner. I did see one thing. He was showing some, like, I don't remember what game this was. This may have been over the weekend. One of those games, he was showing some, what's the best way to say this? But like kind of, uh, a little bit of emotion through his just like uh, movement, right? Like he was encouraging, but doing so like enough that it was expressing through like his body as well. Like you could actually see it. I noticed it, right? He's getting, I think he's either getting more confident or someone's gotten in his ear and said, you need to get out there and you need to be vocal. You need to be out there being that that guy. And I
Yeah.
actually started seeing it this past weekend and noticed it enough to be like, hey, look at that. Look at you. Get it, Yainer. Get it. Like, I mean, he was firing back at one of his pitchers. I don't even remember which one it was, but he was firing on him. And I
Well,
was
they
like, good
deserved
for
it.
you, man.
I'm sure they deserved it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
So anyway,
it,
Yainer and I will have a beer.
anytime you have 600 multi-hit games in the Major League Baseball, that's where my hat tip and beer is going to go to.
Sure. Yeah.
And what's amazing is I think he's had 4 or 5 since then. Like it's unreal. And
That's
so
nuts.
mine goes to Jose Altuve, which I'd buy him a beer every week. But if
Yeah.
you really grasp that you've had 600 plus multi-hit games in Major League Baseball, that's unbelievable. That is almost 4 seasons worth of games.
Yeah. Yeah. 4 seasons, every single game, multi-hit games.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
unbelievable. It's unreal. So he gets mine.
Yeah.
Let's move on to predictions for the week. We lost last night. We've got 2 more in San Francisco, and then 3 with Detroit. So you
Do
want to start us off, big boy?
6. I'm not going to say 0-6. I feel 0-6. That's what I feel. I mean, like right now, what I feel is 0-6. And I'm glad we did not do this last night because I would have been like, oh, and the rest of this season. Right. That's how I felt last night. I'm at least back up to 0-6 right now. Realistically, I think we'll who's going tonight? Blanco's going tonight.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow is
Here, I'll look. I got it right here.
I mean, I think we win two more.
From here's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
but no, here, well, he's that. But we got Blanco versus Jordan Hicks, who is a fireballer with a 2.82 ERA, and then tomorrow we have Fromber versus I don't know, Logan Webb. Like,
yeah. I mean, yesterday was our matchup, like on paper to win, right? That was
correct.
It.
Well,
I mean, on paper, actually, we were. This yesterday was our stolen win, right? I still think we win 2 out of 3. It should have been one of them yesterday. So I'm going to say 2 out of 3 with the Giants, and I think we
against Jordan Hicks and Logan Webb, we're going to win both those games.
Yeah. I'm gonna just stick with it. So 2-3, and I think we take. No, all right, fine, Kruger. We'll win one more. We'll lose this series, but we win the Tigers series. We win it 2-3.
Okay.
So 3-3. 3-3 for
Saturday. Okay. I'm going 2-4.
Okay.
I think
we
we
lose
win
both series?
Yeah, because I think.
Or do you think we get swept?
No,
and lose 2.
I think we split in between Webb and Jordan Hicks. Probably, I would think probably are better chances today. So if we lose today, watch out. But
yeah, if we lose today, I'm going to be.
And then we face Jack Flaherty, who has been pitching really well for the Tigers against. Sorry, I had it pulled up. Now here we go. Jack Flaherty versus Hunter Brown. That's edge Tigers. Even though Hunter Brown's been pitching better, but that's edge Tigers. Oh, and then Saturday, just the best left-hander in baseball and one of the best pitchers with a 8-1, 192 ERA, Tarek Skubal versus Justin Verlander.
I will say this: Verlander has been lights out against his old team.
But the old team's got Skubal pitching. That's a problem.
I know.
And then Kitten Maeda versus Aaron Getty on Sunday. Oh yeah, we're going 2-4.
All right, I'll stick with 3-3, but 2-4 is in the realm. Looking forward, though, we're going to the White Sox, and uh, I think I sent that tweet about how all the fans are writing in Maldonado for the
Yeah,
All-Star. I mean, I think that's pretty strong.
it is.
Like
It is.
the fact that he's worse in Chicago than he was with us is pretty impressive.
That was pretty savage. Just I'm gonna say this for just like the guy at the London series wearing a Phil's fan wearing the shirt. The British blew a 13 colony lead.
Yeah.
Wearing that in London.
Yeah, at the game.
That was pretty classic.
That was good. All right. Well, and then Neil said Neil said 6-0, so he's already in the hole.
He did. He texted us that. He did late last night.
He said 6-0.
He did.
And the weird part is he sent it after the game, after the loss last night too. He said he still thinks that one of these wins will count to negate last night's loss. So
I also think he said we were going to run rule them every time too.
Yeah. He did mention run rolling.
I love it when he's not here. All right, well, we're glad to have him back next week. But
yeah,
anything else you want to touch on before we end this bad boy up?
No, I'll be glad when we get on the friggin' center to right coast, so we don't have to. I don't have, my old butt doesn't have to stay up until 11:30 to watch baseball games on a school night. I'm too old.
I know.
Too old.
I'm with you. All right. Well, that's all I got too, man. I appreciate it, and we will hopefully we see some rays of sunshine out there. Hopefully we see someone step up, but. This episode 52, and with that being said, go Stros.
Go Stros.